Welcome back to Cabin View Firewood. So today I am testing out the new lower Woodyard setup. So far I am very pleased with how it's working out. So I have just enough room to work down here, at least the way I planned it. So I'm pretty happy that it's working out the way I thought it would. I had just enough room to set up the excavator, pull logs off of these two piles here, set them down, cut them up, stack them, and the next thing we're going to do is split these and throw them into the bunker there. So we'll start to find out how much wood that bunker can hold. This is pretty much all red oak. There's a little bit of white oak in there. I've got a lot of the smaller stuff stacked along the back. And one thing I'll tweak a little bit when I'm doing my cutting, I will move the splitter back out of the way so I can put the logs pretty much right where the splitter is, cut them up, and then just turn around and stack them instead of having to walk them around the splitter. So it'll give me a little more room. It'll make the stacking and cutting go a little bit faster. I had the bigger stuff that I set out front, and I just split them up by hand. That's one nice thing about red oak. It splits really easy. So I had, you know, pretty much like 16+ inch rounds that were out front. Only took a couple minutes to get them cut down to manageable size and stack them onto the log lift there. And then along the outside of the bunker, I've got room for totes, so we can stack right from the bunker into totes and then haul them out of here. So we're going to fire up the Wolfe Ridge, see how fast we can get through this stack of red oak. All right, that was a half hour of splitting. I got everything on this side of the log lift done. I got through about a quarter of this stack. And we've probably got just over a face cord in there. Maybe a little closer to a half cord. But I think if you're moving quick, you could get close to a cord per hour by yourself. So, you know, once you hit that mark, I think this is a pretty decent money-making setup. Utilizing a small space with the right workflow, we can get through some firewood pretty quick now. So, very pleased with how this is turning out. It's hard to tell, you know, how big that is on camera, but I bet that's just over a face cord. So we'll keep tweaking this a little bit, but I am pretty happy with how this is setting up. Really my first time splitting down here and kind of testing out this area, so a lot more to come. All right, guys, that is going to wrap things up for this video. Hit me up with some comments. Let me know what you guys think. Hit that like button, and if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. We've got a whole lot more coming up. So I really appreciate you guys all being here, and I will see you on the next one.